Hey Clashers, Ashlane here, coming at you today, going over a great starter deck for using the Elixir Collector. So the Elixir Collector is an arena, I believe, 5-card or 6-card arena. It's the Builder's Workshop arena. So every other card in this deck is going to be very simple. It's going to be either common or rare. This is a no epic, no legendary deck that will actually get you all the way through to high legendary league. It's a really well-balanced deck. So we'll go over some changes you might want to make. If you have the Princess card, by all means use her instead of the Archer card. The Princess is kind of like a long-range archer, which targets more than, I believe, 5 targets, up to 5 targets with her arrows, as opposed to the archers, which for the same elixir cost have more hit points and do a little bit more damage, but obviously without that amazing range. So the Elixir Collector is going to be your most valuable card in this deck. It's what you're going to use on this high, semi-higher cost deck to help you compensate for the cost. And in the last minute of the battle, you're going to really create a strong push behind that giant. In the meanwhile, you're just going to use your hog to chip away. And the best hog combination, the best card that should always be accompanied with the hog, in my opinion, is the Zap spell. So this will be a great Elixir Pump deck. We're going to start this match out by using the Elixir Collector right in the middle like that. See, that's where I like to place my very first Elixir Collector until I see what they have in their deck. So I'm using it a bit defensively there in terms of the distraction. It will distract a mortar at this point. It will also distract a hog, a giant skeleton, a golem, or in this case, a giant. I'm going to play a giant of my own here, and at this point, we're tied in Elixir, and I have the Elixir Pump advantage, so it's looking good, a good opening for me here. What I want to do is make sure with a deck like this, a simple deck like this, you want to really make sure you have the correct timing and placement of your defensive units. That's what's going to win you more matches than not. If you can't time your unit placement correctly, then I'll hopefully help you out with a few tips in today's video. So the giant is hammering away at that right tower. Things are looking pretty good for yours truly at this point, and I'm going to reload. Instead of going ahead and playing too aggressively, I'm going to maintain my elixir advantage and make another Elixir Collector. Now where I have it placed right now is not so defensively, because I know he probably doesn't have the mortar, or a hog doesn't look like either in his deck right now. So what I'm going to do is, now I'm going to play the Hog Rider, see if I can sneak him over to the tower, and I have a Zap spell ready, so we're going to zap right now. Got another extra hit in there with the Zap spell, and with my Elixir Collector, I should be able to defend against these this push here. So this is a perfect example of what I was talking about defensive placement on your cards. I'm not going to rush this drop of Barbarians. I want to wait to make sure his wizard crosses that center line. I kind of had to rush a little bit there because he dropped Barbarians of his own, but I'm gonna wait again for these minions to make sure they would target the princess before the princess targeted them. So you can see that I escaped with minimal damage to my tower, and my minions actually escaped his fireball. Didn't even have to drop that hog there. I preemptively dropped that Hog Rider thinking that he would fireball the minions, but he kind of misaimed there. So now I'm gonna go back to a defensive placement on my Elixir Collector. This is gonna distract units coming in this lane. That way he can't continue to do damage to my tower. At this point, I'm going to change to a defensive game. I don't care about 3 crown victories. All I care about is the W, the win. So at this point, I'm just going to, like you see here, Minion Horde. Well, I don't even need the Minion Horde. So the Giant, I have the Elixir Collector. A good idea is to always continue to re-up your collector, the collectors, excuse me, towards the end of a match. And the idea there is to maintain the Elixir advantage. And even though you can see right now he's playing super aggressively because he has to, so the best response to that is just to play super defensively, maintain the Elixir advantage, wait for them to play a card, and then you can play a card in countering that and maintain that Elixir advantage. That's the beautiful thing about a deck like this. So simple, so easy to use. Let's talk about a couple card substitutions, and then I have a really special treat for you guys on TV Royale. So if you don't like the Zap spell for whatever reason, I prefer Zap spell because it works great with a hog. You think hog, you should think Zap. You think Zap, you should think hog. It's also great defensively in a pinch against a charging prince, for example, or against a mortar to make it retarget target, its defensive or offensive target, and you can also use it against a minion horde for great value in making your tower able to one-shot them. So I'd keep the zap in there. If you like arrows, I would actually use the Elixir. If you want to get rid of the Elixir Collector altogether, if you're like Ash, 3.9 doesn't sound like too expensive a deck to me, so I don't need the Elixir Collector. You can use the cannon, you can use the Ice Wizard if you have it in the Elixir Collector spot, you can use a Fireball, and you can use arrows. Three Musketeers, we're not seeing a ton of them lately, but if you do see a lot of Three Musketeers, you're losing because of it. A lot of people use Three Musketeers, P.E.K.K.A, and Rage, seems like a popular combo. Then you can consider adding the Fireball because that counters it really, really well. So this is the replay I was telling you guys about. What you want to do here, you know, I'm going to go ahead, you probably saw it on the screen anyway, and tell you that red, or the top of your screen, ends up winning this match. But let me tell you, it is probably the most epic finish I've ever seen in the history of Clash Royale. So glad I decided to watch this match and share it with you guys in case you missed it on TV Royale. It is absolutely worth watching. So Team Red is the red. He actually wins it, but there's like 10 times when I was watching this this match that I was like, no, there's no way that Red wins. There's no way that Red wins at this point, but he does with a few hit points left on a tower. So let's see how he does it. Now, Team Red, coincidentally, is playing the deck we just watched with that Elixir Collector with those really basic rare and common cards. Only difference is instead of the archers, as we showed in that match that we just won, he uses the Princess Legendary card. Lucky him for having a totally maxed out deck. So at this point, you can see they're kind of trading blows, playing against a Mini P.E.K.K.A. Mini P.E.K.K.A, it seems to be a little bit more popular right now, trending, if you will, in the TV Royale replays that I've been seeing lately. But you can go ahead and look at ClashRoyaleDeckBuilder.com. I actually have an interview with them coming up soon on the channel. Excited to share more about that site with you guys. But you can see card trends. You can monitor card trends. They update it every single day and see you know, what is trending. So at this point in the match, they're kind of trading blows. Looks like Red has a hand up at this point. You can see there's only a few hit points left, 75 or so, in that right tower. And now we're into overtime. Things pick up a bit, and we're going to go ahead and play in normal speed right about now. Maybe we'll fast forward a little bit here. Okay, now let's start it with 30 seconds left, and we'll start to see how the rest of this match unfolds. Let me tell you, it's crazy. So the Princess versus Barbarians. Barbarians finally make it to that tower with 17 seconds or so left. Now, the one thing about this deck that I've been showing you is it doesn't have a super fast counter like arrows to Goblin Barrels. So if you're running into a lot of people playing Goblin Barrels, you might want to substitute arrows in there. And you don't see a heck of a lot of Goblin Barrel play. Honestly, I can't really remember the last time I saw it in Legendary Arena, so I'm not sure how your arena is compared to that. But anyway, Zap still is effective against the Goblin Barrel in a pinch, and obviously your Barbarians, your Princess, your Archers, whatever you have, are also effective. Now look at this. The tower is down into critical mass at this point. Play some Barbarians, but the blue guy has plenty of counters left. He, what is it, Baby Star? Baby Star has plenty of counters, almost gets that hog. Oh, just so close to that red team's tower going down, and now he has an offensive push of his own. He throws the Goblin Barrel, the zap, and the Princess shoots behind, leaving the tower with only a few hit points left. Blue is frantically looking for his next zap spell, trying to cycle it in there, but he misses, does not find it, and Red wins in a real, literal last second with hanging on by a thread tower hit points. That was insane. I'm happy to share that with you guys. And one last time, guys, here is the deck. If you want to use it, good luck with it. Thank you so much for spending a little bit of your day with me. I hope it's going well. If it's not, I hope we can turn around starting with this video. Good luck, guys. Thanks so much. And as always, take care.
We don't play for fame, we don't play for cash. We just play for the glory and the clash of the ash.